Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's been a few years since I've been on or done any videos. Last videos I did were mostly to do with home automation and audio video stuff. So this one I'm going to change gears a little bit and just kind of show you what I've got going on here. I've kind of got two different projects here. I'll probably make two different videos on them. But the first one I'm doing here is well, kind of give you some background. I absolutely despise this kind of look. I despise having these long cables running to things. Right now I've got two cables here. I've got this white one that kind of snakes around, comes underneath the closet doors into the corner, bunches up into about 15 or 20 feet of extra cable, and then that is essentially the surge protector. Right now, in order to turn these lights on, I have to flip this switch. Normally you would see action, but I've already got the circuit breakers flipped, so you're not going to see anything. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to get rid of this surge protector, and I am going to put in a switched outlet right up there in the corner of the wall there. It's going to have one constant power outlet and then one switched outlet. And the whole purpose behind that is to be obviously light switch controlled for these two lights, make it a little bit cleaner. So essentially, again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a light switch here. I've already made the cut. It's right along the stud here. I made the cut for a junction box. I'll kind of go over the equipment that I'm going to use here for this in a second. But so that's what that's going to be. I already cut that in. Essentially what I'm going to do is I've got this outlet here that is right now the end of the run. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take power off of that. I'm going to come up the wall here, up into the attic, across the top of the header there, and then pull it down just to the top corner of the wall right there. So that's where I'm going to do. What I'm going to do to complete this project is a crap load of equipment that I've got, but you know, is what it is. So I've got these Klein tools. This is 15 feet of mid-flex glow rod set. These things are really, really nice. I just fished a whole bunch of wire in my downstairs ceiling to put in new LED lights. Those worked fantastic. They're super bright. I've got a Klein tool tester, so I'm going to use that to test before and after. I want to make sure that the outlet is not hot now. And then when I turn everything back on, I want to plug that in to make sure all of the wiring is correct. Got my strippers. I've got the fire block because I'm going to drill a hole up in the header going between the attic and then this floor. So I want to make sure I block the excess, and I've got a bunch of blow-in insulation, so I want to make sure that doesn't fall down. Keyhole saw, I've got a marker, got a the keyhole saw obviously is to saw the drywall, the markers to mark the outside of my boxes, the cutting boxes that I've got to do. Got the flathead to take off the screws of the wall plate to the existing outlet. Tape measure so I can measure my distance. 3/4 inch spade bit. Hammer so that I can hammer my these guys here. I've got these staples that are going to hold the cable down. I'm going to make sure I staple that where I can, or staple that down where I can to make sure it's not loose. Level, because I am absolutely anal when it comes to things being straight and level and plumb and true, so I want to make sure of that. I've got my tamper resistant plug here. I've actually already removed the connection between the two hot screws so that I can make the bottom receptacle be the switch receptacle and then have the constant up top. Got my light switch here, obviously the two plates. This is going to be mostly for the next video stuff, but this is for low voltage. This is going to be just a really inconspicuous hole in the wall that's on the outside here where I'm going to be able to feed power and infrared eye through so that so it doesn't look terrible. And that's going to be on the back side and the inside to feed it through low voltage box. I've got my drill. Let's see here. I've got electrical wire, and I've got this fantastic. This is a 16-foot digital endoscope. That what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this. I'm going to tape this actually to the glow rod set, and I'm going to feed this down through the wall so that I can actually see where my wire is going. This is going to give me a good viewpoint into what's happening behind the wall. so that I don't have to cut an access box or an access hole anywhere else to try and get access to this extra cable that's coming through. I've got my 14.2 that's going to tie my existing outlet to my new outlet. I've got 14.3. This is going to tie my new outlet into my light switch so that I can make it a switched outlet. Again, I've got my staples. This is for the NM stuff. And then I've got these guys here. It's very controversial. Most electricians will curse me for using these things, but I really do like them. I've used them in a few other things, and not just on my my choice, but stuff that has come with direct wire equipment. These guys are coming with pretty much everything now. Makes connecting all of the different 14 or 12 gauge, you know, the 12.2, 14.2, 14.3 wires, super easy. Dealing with 12.2 and 12.3 is insanely difficult, so that just makes it really nice rather than trying to tie everything together with wire nuts. So that's kind of where I'm at. So what I'm going to do right now, oh, and I forgot here, I always use just a regular painting liner to catch all of my sheetrock, dust and particles and stuff. Super nice, super wide, really convenient. Just put it underneath it and it catches it. It's pretty nice. And then I'm wearing on my head is a Makita headlamp so that I can get up in the attic and see without needing my hands. So what I'm going to do here is I've got the box cut in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go up into the attic and we'll join you back up there. Alright, so I'm over to where I need to be. As you can see, I'm standing on the header to making sure that I'm not going to step through the sheetrock. Obviously, anytime you're up in an attic, you want to make 100% sure that you are stepping on some sort of a truss or some sort of a header, something that's solid, because otherwise your ass is going to be coming through the ceiling. No fun. So here's what I've got. So here's the existing wire going to that outlet that I want to tie into. Now, in this case, I found this just because I was able to kind of get some reference points to where that room is to where the opening of my attic is. A lot of times what I've seen is people using like piano wire to actually poke through the underside ceiling, and because it's a super rigid but really small diameter wire, so that would stick up above, you know, the 2 feet of insulation that I've got here, and then I would be able to locate it pretty easily. But I'm able to find it pretty easily this way, just because, like I said, I could kind of get some points of reference. So what I'm going to do is, instead of feeding through the existing hole, I'm just going to make a new hole, and then eventually I'll just fill it back up with some spray foam. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to come over to the side here. So all I've done is I've taken out one 5-foot span of my Klein tools, my glow sticks, and I have taken out my endoscope / borescope, whatever you want to call it, and I put it, I don't know, probably about 6-8 inches away from the end. All this is going to do is when I feed this down that hole, all it's going to do is it's going to guide me so I can see where the existing wire is, so that I can try and thread the needle into the existing cut-in box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another 5-foot span on the end here, and then we're going to try and navigate it down. So the next bit you're going to see a recording from the software, from the app that controls this optic. Then we'll be able to see how we can direct it into the hole. So. All right, so here I have the endoscope connected to the fish stick, and essentially I've just fed it through the hole, and now I'm just trying to locate the existing wire, and as you can see I found it, and I'm just following that down the wall, and eventually I will come to the top of the existing cut-in box, and we'll find that there's a couple of holes already in there that I'm going to try and land this fish stick in, so that I can end up pulling the cable back up through the wall. Now, it's going to take me a number of tries to get this. Essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to land on top of the cut-in box, and then I'm gonna essentially just pull up slightly, and every time I pull up, the fish stick is gonna kind of swing away from the box slightly and then swing back. So anytime I pull up, I'm immediately pushing back down with a little bit of force so that it actually will try and impact on top of the cut-in box to actually find the hole, or in this case, I will actually make a new one. I could make this process a little bit easier if I were to get the magnetic tip accessory kit that goes on these guys, and then I could have fed a wire up through the opening and essentially would have just waved the magnetic tip around and eventually would have attached itself to that piece of wire, and then I could have just directed it a little bit more directionally. I kind of feel like playing the Top Gun video game where they have the air fueler trying to refuel the Tomcat fighter jets. So eventually here I'll find it. Almost got it. So I think I find it here in the next couple seconds, and then we move on to the next part. So I'm just gonna let it finish playing out here and stop the narration. All right, so we're back. I don't know if you could tell or not at the end of that video, but we did end up harpooning it right through one of the holes that pre-existed in this cut-in box. So that's fantastic. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this fish stick out a little further, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 14-2 wire, and I'm going to attach it to the eyelet on the end of that fish stick, and then we'll just pull her right up through the wall up into the attic, and then I'll be making a second cut up in the attic for where the actual new outlet's going to go. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, so back. I know I didn't show the video of pulling it back. I had my wife kind of feeding it up through the hole. There obviously wasn't enough flexibility in the fish stick to be able to pull it all the way out of the wall. I had the medium flex. I didn't have the low flex. If I would have had the low flex, maybe I could get it, but essentially I just had her feed it up the hole, and that's pretty much it so far. So what I'm going to do is I have my length that I want. I'm going to clear away a pathway here, 86 inches down that direction. I'm going to end up boring through the studs or the trusses. Well, I guess, yeah. I'm going to end up boring through those guys and feeding this through, and then feeding it down the wall to where my my new box is going to be. So that's pretty much where I'm at right now. So I'm going to stop the video and run it through, and then kind of pick up where I'm getting it into the new box. All right. So all the wiring is done, and everything's buttoned up, and it works nicely. The lights are on, so that's what it looks like right now. So still kind of have a little mess on the extension cable cord that connects these two LED lights here, but I will get that all straightened up here. But for now, I just wanted to test it and make sure it worked well. So yeah, I didn't really take the time to actually show the procedure for actually wiring these outlets together or doing the switched outlet. You can search on YouTube. There's 50 billion videos out there that show it, and show it better than I ever could. So just go ahead and search for it on YouTube, how to wire a switched outlet. Some great videos and references for that. So that's pretty much all I've got. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Probably be putting more and more stuff like this together, chronicling the journeys through the remodeling projects that I'm going to have going on. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Suggestions, comments, anything, leave them below. Thanks.